Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Who's That Anime? And it's our triple finale episode of Angelic Layer, where we're going to talk about the final semi-final, and then the finally meeting each other, and then finally the final of the final.
This this is one episode of content across 3 episodes.
It's very serious content.
It's yeah.
I mean, most of it's just fights.
If that
And Misaki is just obviously a hacker because she hacks the layer, man.
oh god.
Or no, hang on,
Eh,
not hacker, a hacks R.
ha- yes. Dot hack.
Dot hack, hacks R. No, that's a different anime.
Interestingly, just very quickly before we start,
Hmm.
I was looking at when the video home video versions of this were released, when the DVD was released.
Hmm.
and and I was looking at, it's like, there's Blu-rays of this. What year? So this was released in English, right?
Uh huh.
Right. In April 2004. That
Uh
was
huh.
when it first started to appear, and it was released on DVD box set in English in 2009.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I can see, there's no Blu-ray release. Oh no, English Blu-ray release is 2018 for the UK.
Huh. So you
Uh,
buying it?
wait, no. When was the Blu-ray release of the Japanese one? Give me a year.
2020,
No.
2009,
Uh, it, I'm going to say we're going to go higher or lower. I'm going to say lower.
2004.
Yep.
Yep.
This was released on Blu-ray in 2004 when I wasn't sure that Blu-rays were really a thing.
They. Yeah, no, they were a thing. They were
Oh, I
one of
double
the.
checked. April 10th, 2003 was the first ever Blu-ray player to be released for home media.
See, it's a futuristic
That's
anime in
that's
Japan.
insane though.
Well, Blu-ray's been around for 20 years.
We were we were still selling VHS in supermarkets in 2003.
Oh, we love our VHS.
I don't even know if the UK has fully adopted the Blu-ray yet. We still sell DVDs. What's wrong with us?
I mean, yeah, it's awkward to play Blu-rays.
Is it though?
Oh, yeah,
Why?
because you had to buy a Blu-ray player. Why would you buy a
Don't you
Blu-ray
have?
player when you have a DVD player?
Why? Because you want to play Blu-rays? I don't know.
Exactly. No,
That's sort of like, why would you want to play PS5 games when you have a PS4?
I mean, yeah, why would you? They're all the
Because,
same.
I mean, I guess
That's not
there's just.
really. They have been released on both consoles for a
I was
while.
gonna use I was gonna use Xbox as the example there, but then I was like, I don't think there's been that many released on the Xbox. So
Well, they're backwards compatible with Xbox One.
that's also true.
Half,
Which is
half.
also a Blu-ray player.
Yeah, I mean, these are the people that have these. These are the people. It's like how DVD finally took off because of the PlayStation 2.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
one reason it didn't
I
take
did
off
have
of
the
PlayStation 3 because it was priced out the market.
I did buy an HD DVD player for my Xbox 360.
Yeah, see, you bought that because it was an add-on. But at the same time, it wasn't.
I did.
You'd had to pay for the add-on on it. That's where it
I
failed.
mean,
If it came with the console, then they would probably have
it
won
would have been a
that war.
it would have been a much closer fight for
Yeah,
sure. Because HD DVD was a reasonably good format as well. It
yeah.
wasn't as if it was like vastly inferior or anything like that.
And then PlayStation 3 had the Blu-ray, but like I say, it was priced.
It was very expensive.
It was like the equivalent of PlayStation 5.
Well, it was famously, I think, in the press conference they said something like, "You will have you might want to get a second job, or people will want a second job so that they can get it,"
Yeah, Jesus. Yeah,
which is a bit of a wild thing. But yeah,
that's why 360 won that war. It was a lot cheaper.
I I have two HD DVD player extensions for the Xbox 360 in this house.
Yeah, I'm not that surprised, Steve.
No,
How many
neither
GameCubes
am
you
I.
got?
One.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You got rid of most of them because you at least gave me one. No, I got
I
two.
gave you a GameCube. You. Now you have two. I only have one GameCube. I only have one PS1, and then I don't want to say how many of the other ones I have.
I mean, PlayStation 2s.
I think I have four, maybe
Um,
five.
yeah, I kind of inherited them. Like,
I mean, I did two to a degree. So
so I had my PlayStation 2. Then my mate left the PlayStation 2 with me.
yeah,
Uh, and then the flat came with two slimline PlayStation 2s.
that's right.
Uh, yeah, just never got rid of them. Could make a vast profit on them now, selling the CEX or
Yeah,
get 60 quid or something stupid. You see what they're selling N64s in there.
I know. I've got three of them sitting here that can go.
Yeah, you won't get that when you trade them in, though. They'll give
Oh
you like
no, no,
100 quid
no!
for them,
I'm
and it's
gonna stand
100,
outside and say I will sell this for £80 to you because that's what it's worth.
170 quid. I see it in the windows.
That's
It's like
mental.
what?
Is it boxed?
I don't know. No, it's just in the window. It's not boxed in the window.
Oh god damn it! I mean, like I could understand if it was like one of
It might
the
have
rarer
memory cards with.
editions.
Uh,
Well, so there's the other thing is like if it was a rarer edition and had an expansion
yeah,
card in it, then sure. I only have one expansion card, so oh no, that's
yeah.
not true. I have two expansion cards. One of them's an official one, and one of them's not.
Uh, anyway, yeah, it's stupid. It's stupid amount of
Yeah,
money that they're selling, and you trade it in, and you get like less than 100, maybe just over 100 for that. You can look
it's
on their
crazy.
website see what their trading
Let's
value is,
let's find out right now.
because
While I tell you about how many Xbox 360s I own.
I I only own one.
uh,
The other one melted.
okay. Well, the other one's a PC now, right?
Yeah, but it's not the same board or anything. I gutted it, so it's got a mini ITX mini in it.
Let's see. They oh no, it says here that they sell a Nintendo 64 for £90.
Wonder why that one's 170 then.
What color is it?
Pretty sure it's just grey.
Hmm,
Don't know.
that's weird. I love this. It's like we sell the Nintendo 64 Rumble Pack for £10, but we buy it for £1.60. Get fucked.
Uh, yeah, their markup and things are stupid. It's like the Capcom arcade sticks that I had. I bought that
Yeah,
for 150 out there.
yeah.
But if you actually go and look at how much to trade it in at, it's like 90 quid or something.
Like we buy for cash for £3, but sell it for 15. No, off.
Well, they got to make their profit somewhere, but like they're a big massive
It's a
nut.
400. It's a 400% markup.
Yeah, I get that, but they got to make their profit somewhere. But then at the same time, right? It's not exactly a small independent pawn shop. It's a
No,
full whack national pawn shop. So
absolute bullshit.
they don't need to mark up the prices that much.
Holy shit, Kirby 64. They give you £91 cash for it though.
£91 cash. What are they selling it for?
145.
Well, that's not too
140.
bad.
Still a significant markup.
Oh, it is. It's like when, like I said, the Capcom arcade, home arcade, whatever it's called, the twin stick. It,
Yeah.
yeah, bought it for 150. You probably trade it in for 90. The actual system sold for 200 odd.
Yeah. Jeez.
And all it
I mean,
is a dodgy copy of Final Burn Alpha on it.
I had two extreme colored Nintendo 64 controllers that I sold for quite a bit each.
Yeah.
I think it was like £40 each. I sold them for. They were boxed though. I should point out.
Yeah. I mean,
Man, Pokemon Stadium 2 is £70.
on the Switch.
There, uh, it is on the Switch now, but it's still for the cartridges. 70 quid. Oh, how much are they buying Body Harvest for? 80 pence. Sweet.
Body Harvest. They're
Oh
not like,
yeah.
was that a DMA game?
It was DMA and Gremlin, yeah. I
Yeah.
believe internally they used to call it Shoddy Harvest.
Body Harvest. I'm sure you worked for guys in that.
I
In the development
probably
for it.
have worked with some people there. Oh
Yeah.
man, Clay Fighter 63 and a third.
I think I own that.
Nice, nice. Good lord. Like, it's just absurd.
Yeah.
Anyway, filled me with rage. Moving on, we're here to talk about Angelic Layer, and it's the last three episodes, and
It's the
all three of these episodes are. This is actually, I should point out,
sorry,
this is the last pre 9/11 episode of
oh,
uh Angelic Layer.
pre 9/11.
Yeah,
Oh, because this episode there before 9/11,
yep.
and then the other one's aired after.
This episode aired on 9/9,
9/9.
and
Uh,
then
so it's the final.
16/9 is the next one.
It's the final countdown.
I mean, probably not how I would have put it. I imagine it was more of this is a changed world, Colin. It's about these episodes are going to be released in a changed world. So,
just in Europe, man.
episode 24, Reach Misaki. This thought goes over the rainbow.
Yeah. So, like many episodes that came before it, it's backstory time.
Flashback. Jesus Christ.
And it's for the mother, Shu.
Yeah.
And she's writing a letter to Misaki, and basically is writing away, blah 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 blah, and then I can't remember what if she comes up with this excuse for not sending it, and then it
No,
flashes.
she sends the letters,
No, she doesn't.
and then what she does because Misaki's like, oh, I just won't respond.
No,
I
no,
don't want her to feel like she has to.
no, she's never sent the letters. She 100%
In the
doesn't
dub,
send the letters.
in the dub, it implies she sends the letters.
No, she doesn't, because she's writing them, and then like, oh no, and then it cuts back to Misaki, and she's kind of thinking of like saying, going, "I'll be all right," type thing, and then it also she sees Misaki writing the letters, and she's like, "Oh, I better not. Ah, I don't want to trouble her. I better not write the letters."
Oh, I
And then
misconstrued it then.
and then she goes back to her, and then she kind of like goes, "Oh," and then you see that she has like a big pile of letters, and she basically hugs them and goes,
I hate this so much because it's so stupid. But let's continue.
What's stupid? I think this is
What's stupid
powerful.
about the fact that they both completely miss each other but refuse to write each other because they don't want to be a bother?
Well, Misaki did write to her. That's kind of the the thing that happened, she never wrote back, and there's sort of Misaki was like, "Oh, I better not write back to her."
It's so bad.
I mean, it's not a healthy relationship, and it by
No,
any
it's not.
means.
She is, as I will say it again, a neglectful parent.
I mean, she understands that.
I I don't think that going, I guess I'm a neglectful parent, and just being like, but that's who I am, is like a positive position, particularly when you won't do anything to resolve that problem.
Ah, well, she does. She does.
Debatable. Let's go on.
No, she certainly moves the position on.
Uh,
Whether it's
let's
a
go on.
resolution or not is another matter. Uh,
Agreed. Agreed.
so I think at this point it goes into the intro, and then you
Yeah.
see Ichan also writing a letter,
Yes.
and he's trying to confess his love via written form, and he's like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna bite the head off the snake, as it were," and
Yes.
goes to where she is kept in the building, and basically kidnaps her. One
That's
hundred
right. He
percent
does.
is 100% kidnapping because he comes in right. Oh, you want to get some air, and they're like, I need to talk to you. Why can't you talk to me here? Bye. Waves goodbye to her friend and takes her out.
Uh,
And it's like, where are we going? And he's like, oh, we're at a theme park.
and he lifts her. He lifts her into a fucking carousel, Ferris
Ferris
wheel,
wheel, yeah, the carousel of the
and then
Ferris
they have
wheel.
this giggly conversation. For instance, like, "Was that heavy?" And he's like, "Don't want to say anything. No,
Are
no, you
are,
weren't.
are you?
Are you embarrassed?
I thought you were
You look
angry.
embarrassed." Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then he has a bit of a wee meltdown.
Yeah. He finally confesses his love to her, even though I'm pretty sure he kind of said that
This is maybe
before.
the third or fourth time he's done this.
Yeah, but like it's
Right.
proper confession. It's like, oh, you said you wanted to help me achieve my dreams, and I said I wanted to be your dreams or something.
I want you to step out of my dreams and into my car.
Uh, right?
It's a very musical episode of Who's That Anime Today?
Yeah, I think that's just because of our group chat earlier. Um,
That's right. Oh, it's so musically themed.
so
Uh, but yeah, yeah, as you say, he confesses. He's like, I want you and me and Misaki to, live together and be happy as a family. Also,
yeah,
maybe you should marry me. Maybe marry me. And she's like, oh, and he's like, oh, but don't feel pressure to give me an answer right now.
pretty much. And then it comes along the lines of let's go back, and she's got the match with Sai, her semi final.
He does deflate though very briefly after that.
Literally, yes, literally
He just
deflates.
becomes a loose bag of skin on the floor of the carousel,
It's quite a
or
skill,
the
man.
whatever it's called. What do they
Also,
call it?
like carousel,
Oh, amazing.
carriage,
Ferris wheel. Ferris
Ferris
wheel.
wheel, carousel,
Yeah.
Ferris wheel,
Carriage.
carriage. Ah,
I want to say carriage.
a flying cage that goes round in a circle.
The carousel is the horse tornado that goes round
horse,
in circles.
horse tornado. Ah,
Yeah.
sweet. Yeah. So yeah, so he does that, and then I think she says something along the lines. Yeah, that sounds. I think so. That sounds good. And then so they go back, and she's got the match with Sai in the semi final, and it's like, oh yeah, and she goes to her second, goes, I don't think I'll win this type thing. I might not win this one.
I'm, I might deliberately not win this one so I don't have to see my daughter.
Something like that. Maybe that's what it was.
Well, that was what I took from it, was just like, oh yeah,
I mean,
because winning this means maybe having to see my daughter.
hmm,
Hmm. price to pay.
Yeah, and then he sees Ichan in the command room going grumbling about what does "I think so" mean? Is that a yes or a no? Is it have I conquered my issues?
No, absolutely not.
No, neither
Uh,
has she.
is this the one where there's a conversation about him being a romantic?
Yes, because they're fighting in some half-sunken city that is
That's it.
apparently a source of a lot of conspiracy theories in the real world because it's
Cool.
based on that. But apparently the city is half sunken for like Venice, essentially,
Oh, fair
because
enough.
it's not half sunken because it's Atlantis. That angry guy that I watch on the angry conspiracy theories person, it's always really angry at all the conspiracy theories and how they're idiots.
Is it Dr. Dave?
No, it's someone Milo.
Oh, Dr. Dave also does not suffer. Conspiracy theorists gladly.
Yeah, but he's like I think he's like a trained archaeologist. This guy, he's just basically at the moment he took out like a long series against the missing people between the ice ages or something like that, and
Oh,
he's
okay.
got like a long series against this guy on it's a Netflix show. And
Oh, okay.
he's debunking this whole show of like this guy is just whimsical thinking about all this shit, and it's just all a lot of bollocks. Don't believe the
Because
guy.
Netflix will pay anyone any money to talk about anything,
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
except us. They will not pay us money.
We haven't pitched anything to him, so you never know.
That's true. We should. We did talk about conspiracy theories for a long while. Maybe we should be like, it's like, so here's the pitch. It's like anime conspiracy theories. It's like I don't know. Like actually, ghost stories is a metaphor for selling children on the underground black market. Maybe I don't know.
Holy
That'll
fuck,
do.
that's fucking dark.
Yep, that's what it's
That's
about.
that's dark.
But
Yeah.
that's what that furniture company's about. Was it?
What?
Wayfair? Is that not the
Wait,
whole
wait.
thing about them?
They're under selling children in their instead of a
They
furniture when
said
you buy like a
you
nice.
advertise furniture and they sell children. I thought that was the big conspiracy theory that was going about for a while.
I mean, that's the first thing I heard about
It's just like absolute batshit insanity. But yeah,
that. I mean, I can believe it for Tammy or Wish, like.
I like. Here we go. Yeah, the false conspiracy theory. Oh god, this was like 3 years ago. Man, COVID was a tough time.
Yes, it was.
It says, it says, uh, the claims originated in the QAnon community, if you could believe that. Many of whom believe in the far right conspiracy theory that there's a secret plot by supposed deep state against President Trump and his supporters. A well known activist tweeted about the high price of storage cabinets being sold by online retailer Wayfair. The user pointed out that the cabinets were all listed with girls' names, prompting followers to allege that the pieces of furniture actually had children hidden in them as part of supposed child trafficking ring. Like,
Finally,
it's
finally.
just like, could we just very briefly talk about the logical leap there? Where it's like, oh, this
What?
cabinet's pretty expensive, and it's got a girl's name. Child trafficking.
I mean, there is no logical leap there, Steve.
Holy shit. That is
No,
mad.
there's no logical leap there. That's just
I like that. Wait, what is Wayfair saying? They are implying that this conjecture is entirely baseless. It's like, yes, I can imagine why that might be the case.
no, man. It's
Holy shit.
they're just deflecting, man. They're just deflecting.
That is incredible. And then after that, they were like, some said that after they put stock keeping the SKU numbers of specific whey products into Yandex, a major Russian search engine, images of young women would appear in the search results. It's like, it's just that claim was true, but was down to a glitch in the search engine. It's like, yeah, probably. Like it says, oh yeah, any random number of strings would do that.
All right.
Oh god.
I'm just waiting for the FBI to break down your door, Steve. Looking at these conspiracy
It's
theories.
it's QAnon and the fucking Russians are coming, man.
They don't need to come. They are already here.
They're already here.
They're
Oh
all
man,
here.
the deep state.
Deep state. Anyway, so let's get on with this. So, love and
Yeah.
romantic, fighting the big thing.
Yep.
Sai's enjoying herself. Has a smile on her face for once in her life.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's,
It's great.
she just wants to fight Athena without any hassles and just as long as she can. And Athena's just whipping her ass.
Yeah. I
Like,
was gonna say Shuko is ripping her apart
yeah,
piece by piece, like an animal toying with their food.
yeah. And but it goes down to 3 rounds.
It does mainly because she's like, oh, I just want to study this angel for a little longer.
Yeah, I want to know. I want to understand because it's just make me remember something that I had to do type thing.
Yeah.
As this
If I potentially lose this match, I wouldn't have to see my daughter. So I'm still haven't committed to the idea of seeing her yet. So I just don't want this match to end.
yeah, yeah. Oh, fucking hell.
Yep. It's all about,
Oh,
man.
oh, yeah. So it's all about the final showdown with them meeting up eventually. So the first one kind of goes down, and Sai's like, "Yeah, I'm going to have to fight back to do anything," but she can. It was just deflected, and then
Yeah.
it seemed like she was chasing Cena down in the second one,
Yeah, she's
but
like smashing through walls and trees and
yeah,
yeah.
and Cena's running away around the course, and then uh, it wasn't really. She was just leading her somewhere else because she got bored of that place they were fighting. I
Yeah.
assume. Uh, and then yeah, they just kind of fought on, and everyone's like, "Look at her face, nice smiling." It's like, what? That can't be. Why is she doing that? Oh, she must be like enjoying
Jesus.
herself.
She's lost her mind.
Yeah. And Ichan in the control room picture said, "Oh yeah, this is like a match. It's deciding the fate of the world type thing. I'm going to make it more exciting than it was." He didn't say that.
I mean, it's just I'm just waiting till we get like we're so close to when the third round happens, and the third round happens in the blink of an eye.
Yeah. Well, she uses her big fireball move.
she, she soars up into the sky with her angel wings, and then Kamehameha fucking drops a tactical nuke from orbit and destroys the entirety of the layer.
It's the only way to be sure, Steve. It's the only way to be sure.
She legitimately, I thought the doll was going to be gone. It's just like, oh yeah, she's just straight up murked that doll.
Yeah.
Fry up.
Nah.
Wow. That was like really just, oh yeah, there was just no way of getting out of that, huh? She just kind of sat and smiled and looked at it come at her, and she's like, oh well, time to die, I guess.
Yeah. She did. She just looked at it and went, "Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
me."
yeah.
That's
It's like, why bother?
yeah. Well, you should have, as you'll find out in the final episode of this
Oh yeah,
final episode of finally the end of
yep.
Angelic Layer. Finally, finals.
Finals.
So
But then
then,
that's it. The match is over.
yeah, and then she just does a call out. She goes, takes her helmet off and goes, "Misaki, come to me!" And Misaki's like, "What? That's my mom." The fuck?
Who the fuck is that person that's shouting my name?
Yeah, no, that's
I've never seen them before.
well, yeah, I don't know how to recognize her. It's been 7 years.
Then the episode just ends abruptly.
Well, it's the cliffhanger, man. She's calling out Misaki.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, Misaki,
Come at me.
come at me. It was me, Austin, all
Yeah.
along. It's just wrestling, man. It's just 100% wrestling.
We should absolutely dub that scene with that voiceover. Oh god. That is a Who's That Anime YouTube short in the making, Colin. I can feel it.
All right, I can see it though.
I have to do that. I feel that's an absolute must. It's really dumb. It's perfect.
That's me, Austin. It's me,
Oh,
Austin.
so good. So good.
Fucking 90s wrestling.
Vinnie Mac. Good
Yeah.
shit.
Right.
I don't like this episode, Colin. I
Oh,
don't think it's very good.
it's setting up for the next episode.
I mean, sure. The only good thing about it is the tactical nuke from orbit.
That was a nice move. Yeah, the fight wasn't maybe as best as good as the other ones.
It's fine. The fight's not terrible. Like it's just very one sided. So it's over
Yeah. Oh yeah.
pretty quick.
But like she did the one-sided fight before, where she just basically terrorized Deuce, like at the start of this arc.
Yeah, that was more interesting though because that was like, oh my god, there is a serial murderer coming after me in this game.
Yeah, where Sai wasn't afraid and she stood her ground,
Yeah,
and it was just basically a one-sided match. But
this
Sai,
was essentially just I'm bored.
yeah,
That was it.
she wasn't. Uh, she was
Didn't
deciding,
really have to
making.
try.
No, she didn't. But she was deciding on
Yeah.
on things. She was getting a lesson from the gist or something, because the gist was like, oh yes, I take up Angelic Layer because my sister was really into you, and it's an honor to fight with you type thing. And she was like, yes, okay,
It
this
is
seems
an honor to
interesting.
fight with me.
I don't think she's that full of herself.
I'm a fucking badass.
Oh, I mean,
So how do you rate this one then?
I kind of like the ending.
Sure.
Fight was all right. Yeah, it's not one of the better episodes. It's kind of maybe falling down there. I'm gonna go with 5.
Yeah, I think a 5 is fair because this next episode I'm not going to be as generous.
This episode's the best episode, man. This is the one.
Well,
This is
let's get
this
right into it then.
this the finally meeting her mother,
Yep.
and then all the fucking neglect and everything just
Just
basically
washes
hits her,
away.
just hits her, and she goes, "The
And
fuck."
then disappears.
Don't fully disappear.
I don't know. It's a lot of neglect to, both accept and get rid of in a
I
short span of time.
I don't think she fully like forgives her as such, but it's
And why should she?
yeah.
Uh But yeah, this is episode 25, Reunion of Destiny, Angels Wet with Tears, which is just the grossest name.
I mean, wept with tears. Yeah, so this episode basically starts right from the start of the last episode, where Shu calls out Misaki, and she's like, "Oh shit, that's my mom," and Misaki's actually sitting next to Oji-sama, who then basically grabs her and then kidnaps her, and puts her into her room.
Yeah.
And
And he
it's,
does. I knew this whole time. I
yeah,
knew. I knew.
I knew the whole
She's like,
time.
oh god.
Yeah. And then she's kind of like put to this room, stay here and I'll get your mother now. And she's like, okay.
Actually, no.
No, because she starts thinking basically, the fuck. This is a bit over. This is a bit over dramatic. I mean,
Yeah.
it
Yeah. Yeah.
did
Yeah.
did not need to be like this. But she had to just force it out there. Otherwise, it would never. It would still just be the same thing 20 years later. She would still not
Yep.
realize that Athena is her mom. Somehow, I don't know how. But yeah. Uh, so she kind of runs away,
Yep. And
thinking that she's been a bad daughter in some way, in some.
yeah, she in some weird world, she's to blame for her neglectful parent.
It's just, I don't know, man. It's not. It's not like that in sense. It's. I would say it's
I know.
it's
I
some
know it's not
mental.
like that.
It's mental
It.
It's a mental illness that she's obviously
No.
has to blame
I.
herself for it because she realizes that she's been lying to
Oh.
herself.
Absolutely, it is. She, her blaming herself is her way of keeping it uh
Hmm.
status quo.
Yeah.
Like, so she would far rather take the blame for this, so that her relationship, even if it doesn't exist, can continue to exist, it can remain the way it was. Like, she can still hold her mother up at a pedestal and be like, "Yeah, everything's just fine."
Hmm.
Um, that's on. That is something that she shouldn't have to do, but is doing.
Hmm.
I kind of I jest mostly about the mother, but also holy shit. There are only so many ways you can just like say one thing and do the entire opposite consistently. And she's just done that throughout the entire series.
Yeah, yeah, she is. This.
It's like, I really want to see her. I want to see her. It's like, but like, let's take her to. You can go to. I'm not really feeling that well. I'm gonna go now. But if I win this, then I'll do that. So you won that now. It's like, yes, but I've decided that maybe it should be more difficult and convoluted than that.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's half explained in this episode the reason she's gone went like this. And she feels that she just herself can't go back to her now because she's essentially doesn't have anything to show any
Her
reason that
progress.
she's
Yes.
abandoned Misaki. But
We should point out is that, of course, that she runs away and Shuko goes to try and find her.
mm,
And she's out in the rain looking for her. And then, Ichan calls up and is like, oh, where are you? Is like, did you find her? No, I didn't. And now I'm lost and I don't know where she is. And
yeah,
I don't know.
I thought I know where she would be, but I don't know my daughter at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. Yes. Which is a sort of a very telling phrase. But then what we get is potentially the most awkward scene in the entire series, where they just kind of stand and cry across from each other for a period of time, while people walk past with umbrellas, going, "Oh, this is awkward.
Yeah, yeah, I kind of like that scene.
It's
It's a good
really
scene.
not good." Oh
It's a good scene.
man, just
It's a
it's
good
like
scene.
there's just
It's just
crying at distance, and then there's people walking past with
yeah,
umbrellas, going like, "Oh, oh
yeah.
no."
It's good 5 meter distance apart. Because
I
what
did. They
was
are. They're like 15 feet apart as well.
yeah, yeah, 5 meters.
Oh my god, it's so ridiculous.
was yeah. So with that, it's going there. So obviously, Misaki's like I said, been thinking, oh, it's bad parent thing, and then she wanders to the square outside Tokyo Station, I think it was, where she originally
Hmm.
saw Athena, and was like, oh, this is where I first seen my mom
Angelic,
and
Angelic
Angelic,
Layer.
yeah, and this is that, and then so, but that's my mom up there. That was Athena. That was my mom,
Yep.
And then she says something out loud, and then the mother appears behind, goes, Misaki? Which is mom?
Yep. Over
Misaki!
and over.
Mom? Nicole?
It's
Papa?
the worst game. Yeah, the worst game of
Nicole?
tennis ever.
Pa? That's an old rental advert from back in the 90s, showing our
Oh my
age
god.
again.
Marco Polo.
Marco
But
Polo.
yeah, they do eventually. In fact, does she not take her past? She takes her past that same bit again in this episode. It
Yeah,
shows, talks to her about that as well. Like, it's like,
yes.
oh, this is where I first saw you, like your angel, and I first found out about
Yeah,
Angelic Layer and Mr. Ichan, and
yeah. So, but basically, I think after the crying, then the mother explains, it's like, oh no, I'm sorry, Misaki, I should have seen you sooner. Should
yes,
have
you
done
should have,
this. I should have
should
did
have.
that. And
Yep.
then it's like, all right. And then they finally get out of the rain and go to a cafe and sit in awkward silence for a lot longer.
Until Misaki's like, just bubbling underneath is like, gotta say some stuff,
Mm.
gotta say things, and she just has total verbal diarrhea.
Oh yeah, she just starts talking about Angelic there and her friends and stuff, and she did this and she did that, and then the mother comes like, "Yeah, I know. I was there at that party. I was there at the beach too."
It was
I,
me, Austin.
and all along, and I was like, "Oh, jeez, man." And I was there at the
It never gets
championships.
better. Yeah, it never gets better. It's like, yeah, like I wasn't there and I get it, but what if I told you I was there, I just didn't see you? Is that does that make this better? No. No,
Oh,
it makes it a million times worse.
yeah, I don't know why that didn't
You
end worse.
psychopath.
I don't know. I don't know how that didn't like end with like Misaki just running off again. Because essentially
I
that
mean,
should be
like
like, what?
to her credit, I think like internally at that point she's having the whole conversation. She's like, "Why didn't I just, like what? Why is it that I just didn't tell you at the time? Why did I just be like everything's going to be okay? I could have been more selfish. I could have just said, like don't do that. Like I
Hmm.
could have said all these things and didn't. And again, it's like sort of bringing it a little bit back to her when it maybe doesn't need to be about her. It's not really about her. It's about the mum.
Yeah, it is. But the mum then also explains that she's she was wrong because when she says I'll be all right, that final day that she saw her
Yep.
apparently uh, sparked a little something in her, and she thought, right, cool, she's strong, she's going to understand it. And then it wasn't like till later she realized that she was too young to understand what she was actually saying.
It wasn't until much later she realized she was lying. She's just a kid. She
Yeah,
doesn't know jack about any of this.
yeah, don't understand that. And then at this point, I think it was also she says she's received like the first letter or something from that, uh, and Misaki was writing a letter that she saw a rainbow and wish she could tell her mum was
Yep.
like the start of this episode, or the last episode,
Last episode.
and that's why there was rain and a rainbow at the end of the last fight, which is nice.
That's
Anyway,
right.
well, sort of, because she says it's a present to you to spur you on, says Ichan at that point.
Yes.
But
But
yes, this
then
is.
they have the conversation and then like can I point something out here? Because basically after this, what they decide is like, I guess we should go and do this. Like we now have a thing to finish.
Mm,
Because we've
oh,
abandoned our match, our
mm,
final, our finale,
yeah.
our ultimate bout. Um, and I'm watching this and I'm going like, man, like I wonder how long she was missing for, and like, yeah, they finally found each other and they need to talk and they need to kind of get to know each other and understand, like, where it's all going, and then they're like, yeah, I guess we should go and do this then. You're
Mm-hmm.
like, wow, okay. Like I'm glad we managed to turn this around. To me, it's like, yeah, like it's only been a couple of days, I guess. Like, but like, fair enough. Like, you feel comfortable enough now to do this, and then they turn up at the stadium and like, huh, no one's here, and I'm like, yo, why the fuck would anyone be here? You've been gone for weeks, right? No,
No.
no.
Well,
I
unless
also,
maybe, maybe.
I mean, maybe at this point, I mean, maybe like there's something else to talk about there. But then, they hear a voice from behind. It's like, what's that? And then, really weirdly, for some reason, there's Ichan dressed as Athena.
Yeah, one of the statues because there's the thing was freaked Misaki out was she ran out the building and then ran down a big corridor of like 6 foot high statues
Yeah.
of Athena. That
Now
freaked her
he's
out at
one
the
of them.
start, and then he
So he
turned to one of them.
decided to dress up as one.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so there's the should also mention that on the big screen outside Tokyo Station, they're showing reruns and saying due to
Yes.
the match has been postponed, blah blah. So we're going to show some reruns.
Yep. And you're like, okay, that makes sense. But then, yeah, it's like, oh, we thought everyone had left, and then everyone they've ever known is in a big line outside, going, ha 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 ha. Turns
Yeah,
out we're here. It's like, well, maybe can we maybe do the match? It's like, well, it's just as well. No one ever left. They're all still inside, and you're like, I'm sorry, what?
yeah.
Why are they still inside? How long have they still been inside? It's like they're all cheering your name when they heard about like everything. It's like, what?
No, but
It's,
basically, apparently they did say, "All right, look, you guys have left the stadium. Please leave." And they're like, "No, we paid our
yeah,
good money.
yeah.
We want to see." They're all
But
stingy bastards. That's
yeah,
it.
it's like they explained why, and then they were given the option to leave, and then they waited days
Yeah, maybe. Doubtful, but yeah, maybe.
in their seats, like going, yeah.
Yeah, maybe it was. I don't know. Maybe the storm that they ran out into was actually like a hurricane or some sort. I don't know.
Oh my god, it is. It is just for me as a viewer. That is the wildest realization. Was just like, wait, we're just gonna jump straight back into this because nobody fucking went home.
Yeah,
Okay, go
yes,
for it.
let's do it.
Let's do it then, I guess.
And then yeah, so essentially the Misaki starts pushing her mother over to her
Oh,
juice's spot. Oh, Hatoko. Hatoko was like, Misaki, you
oh,
promised me all the way
and
through this.
you took
Oh,
what's her name?
Hikaru.
Hikaru out in the rain, and she's wet. Ugh. And she's like, like you're really good deus, but man, if you're not just shit at doing everything else,
Yeah.
she's like, if it wasn't for me, you'd be dead. God damn it. She's
Yeah.
really annoyed at her. Uh,
Hmm.
but I meant to point this out earlier on because uh,
Hot.
this poor woman is in a wheelchair,
Hmm.
and she and her daughter choose to go to the Walkers Cafe.
Uh-huh. City Walkers Cafe.
City Walkers Cafe.
Yeah.
I was looking at that name the whole time, just being like, is that really the one you chose?
I mean, they're walking. Oh, one
She
was
wasn't.
walking. I mean,
Yeah, my point.
that's just been cheerless.
I don't know. To
Cheers.
me, it's more just like just it's it's either just a weird obscurity or it's just the fact that someone went, it might be kind of funny. It's that, and you're like, I guess
I don't know,
it's really
man.
odd. It's a really odd choice.
You're potentially looking into something. It is a show. It's not English as its first language, and there's
That's
a lot
true.
of T-shirts in Japan that you wouldn't be wearing out in English
No,
markets because the wording on it are quite absurd.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, this episode ends with Misaki pushing her mother through to the arena and getting her all set up in her egg wing pod thing.
Yeah. So there you go, man. We finally met.
Oh, this is barely an episode.
It's no, they got to talk about their feelings and unravel all the past post trauma that they have. Post trauma, past
Yeah,
trauma,
past past
past.
trauma.
Yeah.
Uh, so
I
how
mean,
do you rate this one then?
I'm going to say it's a 9 because all the emotional damage. No, it's not a 9.
Holy shit!
It's not a 9.
Yes, like you and I are going to contrast very heavily in this episode.
You giving it a 9 too?
uh, it's divisible into 9 with a remainder.
With a remainder of 9.
It no, don't divide by 0. That's dangerous.
Yeah.
Um, uh,
Yeah, so basically, um, I don't know. I always like the fucked up ending. This was stupid, but uh, 5. I'm going to say 5 again.
this is a 4
A
for
4.
me.
That's
Yeah.
not. It's not terrible.
The the only redeeming factor is Ichan dressed as Athena, and that's weird in itself.
That's only the redeemable factor of the.
Yeah, it's a very unusual thing. But
I I kind of like it because I feel it kind of maybe touched some weird subjects that most people don't really touch on. But I mean,
I to be fair, I don't think that the plot itself is bad. What I am frustrated by though is that they have created a scenario where you have a mother afraid to talk to her child for a variety of reasons. Mainly chief among them being like she is worried about showing her how she is now, like her health.
mhm,
She is concerned about not knowing her. She is worried about how she will feel, how her daughter will feel about her due to
mhm.
the abandonment
Yeah,
of and the sort of ignorance through her childhood. Like that's a lot of strong emotional topics, and they throw that away in one coffee scene. Like
well,
it just there is to me you have this like long running arc of parental deception to a degree, and instead of like dealing with it in a way where I think what would have been natural is for Misaki to be, you know, angry, frustrated, not knowing how to really deal with that, being a 14-year-old or 13-year-old.
yeah. Well, I
Um,
mean, I don't think she does really know how to deal with it still, and
no, she doesn't.
she's just kind of muddled away. To be honest, I think it's probably a bit more therapy needed after this, but
I
at
think that's
least,
it. Is that they just don't get into it,
yeah,
and I think there's other things you could like fat you could cut from this series to allow you to spend a little bit more time on something that is so notable as
this.
that.
See, I can't remember what it was, but the manga, I'm pretty sure, doesn't have this ending.
Oh God,
I can't remember how it went, but I read it once.
better than this.
Um,
Oh, we're here now though.
yeah,
Episode 26.
I know.
Angel Wings. Please guide me, Hikaru. Me and Hikaru. Sorry.
Yeah, the final
Yeah,
episode.
yeah.
Uh, and
This is basically all fight.
yeah, so basically, at the end of the last episode, you saw Hikaru pushing her mother to the Jushi's
No,
quarter.
Misaki.
Misaki. Hikaru? Yeah,
Hikaru is there,
Hikaru's there.
but she ain't doing shit until
No,
she's in the lair.
she's on the left. Anyway, Misaki pushing the mother to the Jushi's quarter. Only for this episode to start that they walk in from the balcony side
Yeah.
and off stage separately.
Yeah.
So you can probably
Okay.
cut that last episode out.
Yeah, it didn't
Uh,
happen.
it didn't happen, and they had a happy reunion when she like, Misaki, come to me, for I am your father.
It was
Wait,
her,
mother, what?
Austin.
What? I did it for the Rock.
Fucking Rikishi. Anyway,
um, yeah. So they come out, and then everyone's like, yeah, Misaki, Misaki, Hikaru, Hikaru, Hikaru. And it's like, everyone's here for the final fight. And you get to see like all the previous people that she's beaten flash through the crowd. And you can see
yep.
that the tall lady is getting together with that dude earlier. The one that's like,
Yes.
she thought didn't, that thing. Um,
Yep.
and then they get fighting. And there's no fanciness in this one. It's just a plain arena.
Yeah, and they kind of the first round is basically just a punch 'em up, like back and forth.
I don't think it
Lots of
even went to a different round.
didn't it because it changes scene 3 times. I always assumed that meant it was changing rounds.
No, no, it changed the theme because of flashiness.
Oh, fair enough. Well,
Uh,
there's 3 stages. There's 3 stages to this fight. The first one is the plain old Jane arena, and in
Mhm.
that it's kind of the good old fashioned fisticuffs, lots of fast punching, dodging,
Lots of
skipping
pussies.
around.
Lots of pussies.
Yeah,
And each challenge there's they're fighting their 7 years worth out, talking about the 7 worth, and then they kind of have the weird conversations through this too about like doing the stuff and like having a wee conversation through fight.
yeah.
Can't remember what to say.
It's not vastly important. It's just like, oh, this is fun, isn't it? You're like, yeah,
Yeah, they're
pretty good.
having fun because Misaki wants to play Angelic Layer with her mom.
Yep. And
Yeah,
then it gets to like roses.
yeah. So there's like a punch. They kind of do like a weird like sword kind of, well, like an old samurai where the
Yeah.
swords kind of like get stick together, deflected with each strike. They do like that with punches,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's like a big flash of light, and then the arena turns into rose petals.
Yeah, because Hikaru is sort of knocked back into the bed of
No,
roses.
not at that point. They kind of stop
Is
with
that not
their
that bit?
they stop with the arms crossed, with the punches
Oh,
sliding
okay.
off each other's arm. Um, and then it does that, and then they get into a bit more heated fights and stuff like that, and
Is this
uh,
this is the bit where Athena does a full on like suplex
yeah,
or like a pile driver? Actually, just kind of goes and crunches her head into the ground.
I know. So there's a suplex at the start, then Hikaru Kid jumps up and jumps in the air, goes like, alright, I can't
Yeah.
attack her directly, too strong for that. I'm going to go in the air and be flashy. And then she kind of just comes up and like smacks her in the head, throws her down, and then she tries to do a rolling thunder spiral
Yep.
kick, and Athena dodges that, and then grabs her like at the top of the arc of the spinning kick, and then just does the pile driver.
Jams her head down into the
Yeah,
ground,
yeah,
and the
powerbomb.
life bar just
Yeah.
goes. "Boom."
Yeah. Uh, but isn't enough to take her out. It's like, okay, you can get up,
No.
you can get off, get up, get up. And then she gets up, and then I think Athena throws a big fireball at her. Just gets it,
Athena
flies in
decides
there.
to yeah, tactical nuke again.
Yeah,
salt the earth so nothing can grow, Athena.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's like, oh shit, that must be it. And it's like,
Yep.
shoo, and then it's like Psychic's all distraught, going, Hikaru, stand up, Hikaru,
Yep.
stand up,
Hear my voice. Stand up.
and everyone's like, you got Tomo in the car going, no, it's okay, Misaki, you've done enough. It's fine. It's fine, you've done
But
enough.
then they
Then,
immediately decide that she hadn't done enough.
well,
And
you got like Hatoko then joins and goes, Hikaru, stand
yeah.
up. Hikaru, stand up. And then Tomio goes, okay, fuck it. Hikaru, stand up. Hikaru, stand up. And you got Sai in the crowd going, oh, that's what did me in.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay. And then the whole stadium chants Hikaru to stand up,
Yeah.
and then she somehow heals that one pixel of health. Bing!
Well, I was gonna say it's like if only the audience had just decided to look at the bar and going, "Oh yeah, she's still there. She's
Yeah.
still good."
Yeah, but there wasn't anything there, and it came back.
No, I guess not. It came back.
So
Well,
she's
in which case, I don't know if that's
hacks.
cheating or not, but
Oh, she's 100% hacked the layer there with her thoughts. Because she came back, and then she grew wings,
she did.
and they swoosh.
To fight Athena with also wings.
Yeah, and now there's no rose petals, by the way, because she's just charred the earth.
No, it's
And
space and time now. Like there's it's like
yeah,
rings
there's
of astral projection stuff.
I think that yeah, something in the, it's gone to the. I mean, I suppose it's the third boss fight. You know how you play the Final Fantasy
Yeah,
games, and you
this
had
is
like
now her final form.
yeah, and the thing and Hikaru's just gone Super Saiyan man, like the
Yeah,
Feeder fight. I'll take you down, and she's like flying all over the place and beating Athena up and going all swooshy. There was a nice scene in it. I noticed it. It was a split second where Athena actually like lobs her in this, gives her like a good hook, and you can see actually connecting with Hikaru, and she's just like got her face coming towards the screen, just there, kind of goes just for a split
yeah,
second. It was kind of cool. But anyway, so she flies around and that, and then Athena tries to let off another fireball. And this time Hikaru kind of runs up to it and grabs it,
yeah.
and then just pulls her down. Oh no, takes her down instead of the fireball gets thrown. She kind of like
Smashes it into her on the ground.
yeah, I think they just fall.
It's very
With
unclear because you see like a green bot line being dragged to the ground.
yeah, with some wings underneath getting followed in by
Yeah,
the air resistance, and she kind of falls down to the ground, and everything goes on fire. And
yeah. Again,
then yeah, and then this time Hikaru is walking triumphantly through the
yep,
flames,
yep.
flames. And then the announcers, even the announcer chants for Hikaru as well.
Oh,
As
that's
she's
right.
in.
Yeah, and then he
And
goes,
it's,
"Oh
oh
shit,
shit,
shouldn't do that."
I'll be impartial, I'll be partial. And then, yeah, and then he just goes, right, yeah, Hikaru wins. It's like, you didn't give her a chance to get, like, her side of the crowd chanting her name. Athena,
Nope,
Athena,
no,
Athena.
no.
No.
She was already dead to them.
Yeah, dead.
Too late.
Yeah.
Too late.
Um, and then that's kind of the end of the episode to a degree, and then there's some little bits in the credits, um, where
We see that Tamio and
Kotaro.
Kotaro are now a couple,
Mm.
and so are uh, the two people from the control room
Oh
that
yeah,
work with Ichan.
yeah. She was upset with him, and then he slipped, and
Yeah,
then they both laughed.
they both thought it was hilarious.
And then the other two who were married with the kid were out. It was
Yes.
Christmas time, by the way. It's Christmas time now.
Oh yes.
And then Ichan, Oji-sama are stalking the mom and daughter.
are. It's gross.
Like weird stalkers.
But
But
they're both walking.
they're both walking. That's right. She's not in a wheelchair no more. She's cured her
Oh,
legs
yep.
by
And that's it.
chopping them off and replacing them with robots.
Probably.
I mean, that's the whole point of it. That was the whole point
Well,
of Angelic
I thought
Layer.
it was. I thought it was supposed to replace them with like an exoskeleton
Oh, maybe.
without chopping them off.
Is that not robotic legs still?
I mean, it's like braces, I guess.
Braces.
Yeah,
Brace yourself.
brace yourself. So
Brace
yeah,
yourself.
uh, that's
Oh,
the whole thing, and then we get a little card at the end of it that's like, "Thanks everyone," with all the
yeah.
characters.
Yeah, and not to mention it goes and see that Athena and Hikaru
Oh,
are,
sitting at the spa.
yeah, I don't know this is they're just sitting on a window ledge, I thought. And
Oh, I thought it looked like a spa, like a Japanese bathhouse type
oh,
thing.
well
They were
maybe,
sat next to each other on the edge of the water.
yeah. And you got Athena with her arm around
Yep,
Misaki as she leans into
a
Athena.
motherly pose.
Yeah. And that's it, yeah.
We did it.
We did it. We finally watched Angelic Layer. It's only taken me, I'm pretty sure, 10 years to get you to watch it.
I don't. You might be right.
I'm pretty sure
You
it's
might be right.
should have watched this, man. And then we were going to do it,
all
and
it
then we never did it.
all it took was starting a podcast during lockdown.
I mean, it was that, and the last time I think it was maybe a podcast too, where we might watch like random animes, and I suggested this, and then it just went. Boom.
Yeah, maybe you're right. All it took was a global pandemic, Colin.
That's all I need to do to get to watch shite. It's great.
I don't know if you're taking responsibility for COVID there, but you might want to be you might want to be careful.
I did. I don't know.
I didn't do COVID.
I didn't do COVID, but
Um,
who's going to believe me when people don't believe like other things about COVID? And
that is literally all the evidence a conspiracy theorist would need, Colin. Is you saying
I
all it
didn't do.
took was that, and you saying I didn't do COVID.
Oh, we already read that one out about the child smuggling in Wayfair.
Oh yeah, that is wild. But now that that is done, I suppose what we can do is talk a little bit about our plans
Or
for the next episodes.
what we can do is rate the final episode.
Oh fuck, we didn't do that.
I've not done
Shit.
that. No.
Fuck, I forgot.
Yeah. Finally. Finally. It's come to this.
I've got a score in mind.
Uh-huh. Is it a 9?
I'm gonna say it's not a 9. I think it's a 7 because I don't think the actual surroundings of the episode are particularly good, but the actual fight is really good. Like all of the stuff in it looks amazing. They did a really good job of that. So
I 100% put lots of the budget into this final, so there's a lot more smoother animation and
yeah,
stuff through it.
yeah,
Yeah,
it looks really good. It looks really good. They did a great job.
yeah. Um, yeah. It's pretty much a big fight at the end, which is good. I loved it. I might go on it. Just
Fair, like
that's what I like about that.
it's the best the fighting has been since earlier on. Like it wasn't a great start with the fighting. It was very dull, and then it got quite exciting because
Mhm.
the characters became more powerful, and then it got kind of dull again because the fighting actually took a backseat to the narrative that's not great in some instances.
Yeah,
And then they've kind of stepped it back up to being more about the fights again. So
I'm pretty sure when I said let's do this, I told you it was like it's isn't much in it in like a
yeah,
story.
yeah.
itself. It's good. It has like a stupid mental. Basically, everyone's mentally ill. It plays Angelic Layer in some way. Like you got Sai, who's obviously kind of unhappy that she's lost his sister. You got like the kid that was kind of unhappy that she went out to play Angelic Layer because her kid brother was ill a lot.
Yeah. Oh,
Uh,
that's right. Actually, we should have mentioned that she visited his grave
yeah,
at the
yes,
end
that was then the Sai
with her
visit.
second.
Yeah, visit her daughter's grave, sister's grave. Um, yeah, that's it's essentially everyone had
It,
some
it's fine.
issues.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's a fine. It's like if I'm looking at the other stuff we've done,
Hmm.
is it the bottom? No. Is it the top? No.
Yeah. What is our average score, Steve?
I don't know. I mean, I would suggest mine is probably somewhere between 5 and 6,
Yeah,
and I
I think
think
so.
yours is probably between 6 and 7.
Yeah, I think so. But you're not writing them down now.
No, it's a lot of maths, and I don't write as much as I did when I when we started this.
All right.
I try to do it more. I had a notepad at one point that has now disappeared.
Oh. Oh well.
Yeah,
Oh, that reminds me. I've been tempted to buy that notepad off of iPatchWill's site.
what notepad?
Oh, so he's got a notepad in his merch, and basically it's got like some cool art in front, but it also has like this big words, basically mantra on it. It says "Write shit here,"
Nice,
and
nice.
I'm tempted, but at the same time, I don't want to buy it because I think it might not be worth the price.
But
Because I don't think it's
you want to
refillable.
support you want to support someone. I think that's important, and is
Hmm.
like I feel a lot about that these days when it comes to like merchandise. Is it's not just about the thing itself because we live in a world where it can be tough if you're a content creator and that's your job. So I kind of get like I think of it as a sort of a gratuity. Like hey, yeah, this is worth this, and I'm fine with that. And the rest I think is like hey, I'm willing to donate that to the cause, as it were.
Yeah.
I know that's not how it really breaks down because people don't actually ask for that. It's just the cost of materials and making things happen. But I
Yeah.
think that's how I psychologically make that work in my head.
Yeah. Um. Anyway, so let's get down to it, man. Let's go and
Yep.
talk about what we're doing in the future. Future
Yeah.
us.
So let's let's talk about let's talk about at the very least the next two things we're going to look at. So let's highlight the next bonus episode, and then we're going to talk about the next season and what we're going to do there.
Yeah. Okay. So what's the next bonus episode, Steve?
The next bonus episode is Paprika.
Is that to do with Pringles?
Yes.
Paprika Pringles
Yes.
and the spice.
Yeah, no. No.
Not to do with spice, so it's nothing to do with like
No.
the
It,
sandworms.
it is the
Sandworms?
Satoshi Kon psychological thriller. It's going to be
Yeah.
great.
It's
Uh,
it's a pretty good movie.
it was his last film before his death
So what is I did not realise he'd passed.
in 2010.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I don't know how.
How he passed.
Yeah, usually that like when you're that young, you're like 46. I feel like that's
Don't always.
Oh, okay. I died of pancreatic cancer, so there you go.
Oh yeah.
That would do it.
Yeah.
So This was of. This is actually our third Satoshi Kon.
Yeah, yeah, it is, isn't it? So, was it Tokyo Godfathers?
Tokyo Godfathers and Perfect Blue.
Perfect Blue, yep.
Yep.
And then he also had a. Did he not also help out in Memories?
I want to say he wrote one of the segments in that. He did the scriptwriter, layout artist, and background designer for Magnetic Rose.
Yeah.
So he also wrote my favorite one of the three things from Memories as well.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, okay. And then after we do Paprika, which will be this goes out on
It'll be the 10th of September. That one goes out.
yeah, and then the
Moving on
next
to
one.
season 11, Colin.
Season 11, 1-1.
And we're going to start doing something a little more horror-y themed as we're getting closer to that time of year.
That's right.
And we're going to start looking at Elf and Lied.
Oh shit, I forgot we were going to do Elfen Lied, yeah.
Yeah,
It's a weird
which
one.
is really exciting.
God,
Yeah.
don't I don't know, it's horror at the start.
Yeah, it sort of changes up. Like I think generally the theme of it is a horrific theme psychologically.
Yeah, to a degree, yeah.
It's definitely a consistent thematic presence throughout the series horror.
Oh, that's just
It definitely gets a
main
little bit more drama-ish, and there's obviously sci-fi in there too. So
main characters a bit of a psychopath.
I love that
Or
first episode so much, and I'm looking forward to talking about it. Um, so yeah, we'll start releasing that on the 17th of September. We're going to run that through to just before Halloween, and then we're going to be doing a special Halloween episode that I don't want to say what it is just yet, just in case we make any changes. Don't want to promise anything, but I think we might have that narrowed down. And then
okay.
into November, we're not going to say what it is yet, but I think we've already chosen what our season 12 will be. And that should take us pretty much right up until almost Christmas,
Christmas time,
where we'll need to
mistletoe
find
and wine.
yet another thing to do that's themed on Christmas.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, yep. Let's
Hey,
see if we
shit.
can make it work as well for us as our current Christmas thing.
Oh, yeah, that is a weird, like, most popular video on our channel.
Glitch in the Matrix.
Yeah.
Um.
Um, yeah, let us know
So yeah,
any suggestions of a Christmas themed Christmassy thing
yeah. If you got it, that would be sweet.
based on
So
anime.
based on anime, of course.
Yes.
Well, we've done it.
Mhm.
And that leaves me just to say, I suppose, that Who's That Anime is an anime podcast and can be found where all good podcasts can be found. Our home is at www.anchor.fm/Who's That Anime. We don't make any money from this. There's no advertising. There's nothing like that. So if you like what it is we do, then leaving a review on your podcasting software of choice would be greatly appreciated. It certainly helps with the all-knowing, all-seeing algorithm. And if you can't, of course, leave a review because not every podcast software allows you to do so. It would be super awesome if you want to tell a friend, because that would be another way to help us out. The more people we get to listen, the more exposure we get, and that helps. Further to that, we have a Facebook page. That's facebook.com/Who's That Anime, and that's where we post the latest episode releases and the occasional anime meme. We have a Discord. You can find the link to that in the show notes. Colin and I also have a YouTube channel. It's youtube.com, and if you search for @Who's That Anime, where Colin painstakingly puts together the video versions of these episodes. We also like to play video games sometimes. Colin at twitch.tv/couchfuel and myself at twitch.tv/hailpayman. If you'd like to watch some of the stuff that's happening or has happened there, you can find an archive of both of those channels at youtube.com by searching for at couchfuel or at at Hail Payman. I was so close. I was nearly out. And
Yeah.
that's us done.
That's it. We're done. We're out here.
We made it.
We
Season
made it.
10, over and out.
Season 10. Done over crispy.
Yep, extra crispy.
Extra crispy. The same words now. It's like our shortest episode too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
it's because the last 3 episodes are barely one episode.
They're good though. Sort of.
They're middle, but yeah.
Last episode's good.
Last episode is certainly the best. That we can agree.
That's because it was a fight. Anyway,
there was a fight.
Let's finish it. Let's finally finish this final episode of Angelic Layer. Finally. So,
we're out.
Yeah. See you next anime time. Anime place. Anime. See you later. Cheers. Bye.
Yep. Bye, folks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.